The more I use ChatGPT, the more convinced I am that it changes recruitment forever. I'm Raj, a university-based careers coach, and over the last month or so, I've been testing ChatGPT's ability. Here's how I think ChatGPT changes the recruitment game. All recruitment looks to test just three things: that you can do the job, you want to do the job, and that you'll fit in. So we can break down what each part of the recruitment process does. Cover letters help us show we can do the job by linking our experiences to the role requirements. They also show we want to do the job, perhaps by connecting a project the organisation's doing to something we care about. And in a less obvious way, cover letters can also help us show how we might fit in through subtle language cues, what acronyms we choose, so are we part of the in crowd or not, and also to what extent does our spelling and grammar show our attention to detail. Now you might say, Raj, ChatGPT can take care of spelling and grammar, we don't need to worry about that. But there's a much deeper point at play here. Recruiters, before ChatGPT, had been using cover letters to test for those three things, and so if there's now a chance that a cover letter hasn't been written by a candidate but rather by AI, well, it no longer serves as useful a purpose. So I think ChatGPT will result in fewer organisations asking for cover letters, but I think organisations asking for CVs and resumes will largely remain constant because those documents typically reflect independently verifiable information about the candidate. I think interviews could change a lot, and here are three ways how. Firstly, I'd expect in-person writing exercises as part of the interview process. Writing exercises that might replicate the kind of writing you might need to do in the job. And you may reasonably ask, well, what's the big deal here? Won't AI help us write in our job in any event? And, well, yeah, sure. But writing is also a proxy for other things. For how we develop our thoughts, construct arguments, arrange evidence, so our writing reveals a lot that will help the hiring manager figure if we might be a good fit or not. Recruiters won't want to miss out on that intel. Second, I'd expect to see more unexpected and sequential interview questions. So instead of being asked, how do your skills match the role, perhaps starting instead with, what are the top two things you learned in your last role? In what ways do you think those things would be useful here, and why? The two approaches will essentially be looking to get at the same thing, which is, can this person do the job? But the second approach might be better at revealing a candidate's thought processes, so disadvantaging those candidates who prepared by asking ChatGPT what the likeliest 10 interview questions might be for a particular job description and simply memorizing model answers. The idea being that perhaps those looking for shortcuts might be less motivated for the role, whether that's a fair perception or not. Third, I'd expect the interview process to get a little bit longer post-ChatGPT because recruiters aren't getting as useful intelligence from application processes but will still want the same level of confidence in their hiring decisions. I think AI changes recruitment in more fundamental ways. First, AI seems to potentially make recruiting more expensive. In the first instance, because the barriers to entry are lowered, it's easier to apply, so more applications need to be processed. But second, if it means interviews getting longer, well, that means more hours from those higher up the pay scale in order to make good hiring decisions. And since organisations don't typically like rising costs, I foresee two knock-on effects. First, employers could respond by imposing higher qualification and experience requirements, since these are cheap to independently verify. And second, employee referrals will likely become even more powerful, as what better way to determine a candidate's fit? The downside, if you haven't already guessed it, is likely to a lack of diversity. People network with people who most look like themselves, and the potential need for higher qualifications disadvantages those whose learning and economic environments weren't as supportive as their peers. I seriously hope employers mitigate against these risks because diversity is a superpower and talent is everywhere. The achievements of OpenAI are amazing. That we've arrived at a place that we're able to synthesize and summarize information in such a way is extraordinary. Expecting recruitment to remain unchanged would be unreasonable. I'd love to hear how you think ChatGPT changes the recruitment game, so please do comment below. That's it from me for now. I'll catch you next time.